welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea and today we are going to be talking all about my favorite fall eyeshadow palettes. I have some really old stuff in here, some new stuff, brand new stuff, and some in between. So if you're excited to see what my favorite fall eyeshadow palettes are, then let's get started. One of the first brands we're going to be talking about is one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas, and it is ABH. I do have quite a few palettes for this video, so I'm going to try to lump things together where I can. So all three of these palettes I think are fabulous for fall. You have Soft Glam, Modern Renaissance, and the Jackie Aina palette. This is what Soft Glam looks like if you have not seen it. This is just like the perfect fall warm tone palette, and the mattes in here are super creamy and buttery and easy to blend, and the shimmers are quite creamy as well. The ABH formula in general is very pigmented and you need a very light hand, so definitely make sure you're tapping off your brush when you're using these. And this is what Modern Renaissance looks like. I did do a look with this recently and I fell back in love with it. It just has the perfect mixture of like cooler tones, and then you also have quite a few warm tones in here as well. And then you also get those burgundy shades. So this is a really great palette. I really enjoy this gold shimmer shade too. And this is the Jackie Aina palette. I'm not sure if this is still available. It might be still available on the ABH website, but these pinks and purples just scream fall to me, and then these warm brown tones are so beautiful. Every time I go into this palette, I want to use this shade called Zam. It's just so reflective and stunning. That to me is like the perfect lid shade for fall. So, and then you also have this shade right here that's like that MAC blue brown duochrome that everyone does. It's just so pretty. If I don't seem overly enthused, y'all, I'm still recovering from COVID and it makes me real tired. I thought that I was past it, but we went and got tested again and we both still have it, so real fun. Next we have another one of my favorite eyeshadow palette formulas. This should be pretty easy to guess if you watch my Instagram or my YouTube videos. And it's the Natasha Denona palettes. I only grabbed these three because I just have so many of them, and I think all of the palettes that I have from her would be great for fall. I have Gold, Love, Glam, Bronze, and Sunrise. So this is what the Glam palette looks like. This is the perfect, more neutral, cool tone palette for fall. I specifically love these shades right here. They're like pinky, undertone champagne-y type shades and taupey. They're just so pretty. I haven't used this in a little bit. I need to pull it back out. It is so stunning. Ugh, look at these. Eyeshadow is one of my favorite things about makeup, so you'll probably see a lot of eyeshadow type of videos from me. Anyways, you do get some warmer shades in here as well, like these. And this overall is just a really great palette. The formula is fantastic. All of the shimmers work really well. All of the mattes blend really easily. I have no issues. I've used every single shade in this palette and I love them all. So this is the Bronze palette. These are so pretty. As you can see, I've dug hardcore into this. I've used this shade for a liner quite a bit. I love this palette so much. This shade Silk is my absolute favorite. But just like this other shade is True Copper. Look, this is Silk, this is True Copper. Here's True Bronze. The intensity of these shades are just so beautiful. I love how reflective this shade is. And the mattes in this palette just blend so easily. If you're looking for like a simple matte look, you can just throw this shade, and this shade in the crease, and it's so beautiful. And lastly is Sunrise. To me, fall is all about these like cranberry, pinky, purpley tones. This really is an all-around year palette, and so are these, but this is so fall to me. Just, I love these types of shades for fall. And this Aster shade, this purpley, like pink duochrome. Oh my gosh. I can't help but use this shade when I use this palette. It looks so good with these beautiful, beautiful mattes. I love these shades for fall. And then you also have your oranges and your yellows and an array of like goldy champagne copper shades over here. This one is Day Spring. It's so beautiful. And Laurel. This one has kind of a pink undertone to it. I love this palette so much. This is definitely one of my top favorite Natasha Denona palettes. So I have two palettes from Colourpop, and they're kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum. The first one is the Give It To Me Straight palette. This probably is my #1 favorite palette from Colourpop. The mattes in here are so beautiful, and the shimmer shades are just so stunning. Ugh. I love a reflective shimmery shade. I live for them. But the mattes in this palette are really beautiful as well. So pretty. So this palette is super simple to use. The Colourpop formula is super inexpensive, and just overall they make great quality eyeshadows. Next is a newer palette to my collection. It's not new to the market, it's just newer to me personally. And I was playing with it the other day and I was shocked at how amazing it is. And it's the Making Moms palette. This is what it looks like. And the thing I'm most intrigued by in this palette are these middle shades, the shimmer formulas. They're so different from other Colourpop shimmer formulas. They are almost like, they almost have a little bit more glitter to them, which makes them more reflective. They are so stunning on the eyes. The mattes in this palette are very soft. You don't get a ton of depth with them, which is okay to me. Like, that's fine in some palettes, and I just think that this formula blends so easily. Those are horrible swatches. Me trying to get all of them at once. But these shades are so beautiful. I wish I would have picked this palette up sooner, and I wish I would have used it sooner. I've had it for a little while and I haven't touched it, which happens when you have a large collection, unfortunately. I think I need to go on an eyeshadow palette no-buy. Maybe if I speak it into existence, I'll do it. I tried to do a no-buy in August and it did not work very well, but I need to try again. So as I've said previously, fall to me is for burgundy and pinky shades. And the palette to me that does that almost the best is this one by Huda Beauty. It's called the New Nude palette. I'm obsessed with this for fall. These tones are just so gorgeous. The mattes blend really easily. And the shimmers are unique. They have this like marbled type of formula, and the colors are just so beautiful. Look at that. Oh, they're gorgeous. I love this palette, and I get a lot of use out of it, mostly in the fall time. So next is something I think is discontinued, but they actually came out with a little bit of a different version of it this year, and you can pick that up if you want. And it is the Too Faced Gingerbread palette, Gingerbread Spice, excuse me. I love this palette. I don't know if it got good reviews or not, but to me, the mattes in these blend so easily. I love the shimmers. Spiked Eggnog, I think, is one of my favorites. And I love the pinky purples and the warm tones in this palette. So my swatches today are horrible. Anyways, this palette is really pretty. It blends really easily. I always enjoy the looks that I come up with when I wear this palette. Like I said, they did come out with a mini version of this year if you missed out on it. But if you have this palette in your collection, here is your reminder to pull it out and use it. I truly love this. This next one is very new and very new to me, and I am truly obsessed already. I was not gonna buy this. It's the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. I was not gonna buy this palette, and I saw it in the store forever ago, and I was like, oh, I feel like the pictures did not do it any justice. Look how stunning this is. These warm tones over here are just, even on camera, they don't look as rich. In person, they are so rich. And this whole bottom row of mauvey pinky purples is everything to me. I am obsessed with them. These shades, I wore this yesterday. Oh. They're so pigmented. Do you see this pink shade? Oh my God. Seriously, they're so pigmented. And they blend so easily. Here's some more of the mattes. Look at that. This palette is so good. Also, this yellow. This color is called Pumpkin Spice, but it's like a mustardy orange yellow. It's so pretty. This palette is really good. The only thing, these green shades are out of my comfort zone, but I'm excited to try them. This one is a little more on the chunky side, but it is so reflective, like, oh. And then this is like a pukey color, which usually end up being really good eyeshadows. So this palette is bomb. Pick it up if you have the opportunity. Ask for it for Christmas if it looks good to you. I love it so much. Next is a big favorite for me personally. It is my color story. Like, it's just my color story. I love it. It's a Pat McGrath Celestial Divinity palette, the holiday palette this year. And this is what the palette looks like. I do have a video up on this on my channel. And I'm just, these, oh my God. Do you see these shades? They are so epic. The mattes in this are better than the other McGrath mattes that I have. They don't swatch well, but on the eyes, they perform really well. The shade is so cool. I can't wait to use this on my eyes. It's like a yellow, gold, orange, pink flip. You can see it more in person. It's so, so pretty. And the shade is out of this world. I love it. The amount of glitter that's going to be on me after swatching all these palettes is ridiculous. This is a palette I will willingly admit that I have not used enough yet. It's the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. This is what it looks like. It's an array of like cool tone purples for fall. I did buy this in like spring or something this year when they were having a sale, and that's why I haven't used it much. I've played with it a ton, like at night before I wash my face to go to bed, but I love this so, so much, and I can't wait to use it a ton this fall. This shade, Warm Pie. Oh no, not that one, sorry. This shade, Warm Pie, is so beautiful. It's one of those matte shades with glitter in it, but I don't know, it's just such an interesting color. Oh my gosh, my dogs are barking and they're outside. Little shits. The shimmer shade in this is a little bit chunky. Oops. But not like in a bad way. They're really pretty shades. And the mattes in this are just super buttery. So I'm excited for this. I will be using this a ton. It is on my list. The next one on my list is definitely the smallest and the most affordable, and it's the e.l.f. Bite Size Eyeshadow Palette in the shade Pumpkin Pie. It's really pretty. I have used this, I think maybe twice. This matte isn't as dark as I want it to be, and the matte shades in these don't build like, say, Natasha Denona mattes, where you can start off really light-handed with a fluffy brush and put it all over, and then you get denser and denser and smaller brushes and you pack it on and it looks like a different shade because it will get darker. These don't do that. I love that type of formula, so that's why these to me are not necessarily as good, but you're only paying $3 for it, and they blend really beautifully. And the shimmer shades in these are just gorgeous. This next one is just so good, and people don't talk about this brand enough anymore. They've been releasing stuff, but it hasn't been as popular for some reason. And it is the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. This is what it looks like. You have such a good mixture of tones in here. You have all these warm shades, but then you also have some cooler tone taupey colors and then some neutral browns in here. I do have this on my eyes today. I have Transition, Bestie, no. I have Bestie, You Are Kitten Me, Brownie Points, and Thanks a Latte. That's the shades that I'm wearing today. But I love this palette, this shade, and this shade. Oh my gosh. If you hear my dogs wrestling, I apologize. These shimmers are so good. I don't know why my swatches are so bad today, y'all. Sorry. But there's some of the mattes. This palette Truly, truly amazing. All right, only 2 more, okay? Next we have an oldie but a goodie, and if y'all don't have this and it's your color story, I'm telling you to pick it up. The shimmers in this and the mattes are just the butteriest. They're so good. It's the original Lorac Unzipped palette. I never did buy the gold version, but you can see how beat up mine is. These are so stunning. They're like rosy gold mauve shades. I'm telling you, the shimmers in this are so, so beautiful. So, so reflective. And they just glide on the eyes. The mattes in this are also really stunning. These do not swatch well today. I don't know what the deal is. It's probably me. That's better. There we go. But this palette is just super, super beautiful. It got tons and tons of hype when it first came out and for a long time on YouTube, but people don't talk about it anymore. If you have this palette, here's your reminder, pull it out. It is so, so good. I love it very, very much. So last but definitely not least is a newer palette to my collection. I tried to pick stuff that was older and newer and everywhere in between for y'all so that you didn't feel like you needed to go out and buy anything. You can pull some of these things out of your collection that you have already and just use them in this time of year. But this palette is really, really good. And it took me a long time to get on the train for this brand's eyeshadows, and I'm sad I waited so long because I really enjoyed them. So it is the Charlotte Tilbury Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize palette. I have a video of this on my channel as well. This is what it looks like. I don't know if I said, but I do have 2 videos on the Glam palette. One is a review, comparisons and swatches, and 1 look. And then I have a 3 looks video with that as well. But this color story is just so good. You get your typical like warm bronzy shades, and then your red pinky shades, and then your cool tone purples. This half is warm, this half is cool. Mix it together and you get the perfect palette. So these are cooler tone purpley shades, and then you've got these taupey shades. These larger palettes for Charlotte Tilbury do run, I think it's $75, but you just get more for your buck than her quads. Her quads are like 50 something. I don't know why, but I guess I'm swatching this whole palette for y'all. I'm just going down the rows. But the quality of these is just so good. The shimmers are like super, super buttery. And her mattes blend really, really well. And the first palette that she came out with in this formula, I really wanted, and I didn't end up picking it up. But this was the one that caught my eye the most. This is the whole palette. But just look how intense these are. This palette is really great. I haven't used it enough. Like, I need to use it more. And I've used it several times. So also with the way she lays out her palettes, you can use these individual trios as like an eye look together, or you can mix it all together. The first time I used this in my video, I used these purple shades, and I did it the way Charlotte tells you to do it, like how she puts it together for you to use it. But since then, I've just mixed stuff together and used it as I please, and I definitely prefer a palette that way. But I appreciate the trios, because if you just want like a simple look and you don't want to have to think about what you're doing, that's one of the easiest ways to go. And then with this palette, you also have all your like standard color stories. So you really can get your warm red eye, your warm neutral gold eye, your purple eye, and then your taupey eye. So I love this palette a lot. And the packaging is just so pretty. She did such a good job with this packaging. All right, y'all, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite fall palettes are. Do you have any of these palettes that I mentioned, or are you gonna pick any of them up? Please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell if you haven't done so already. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. All of those things help my channel grow, so I appreciate any of those things that you do so much. And I'll check y'all in the next one. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Bye.